CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Lauren Pastrana, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. OJ Simpson, the legendary football player and controversial figure, died Wednesday at the age of 76. In a statement on Simpson's social media accounts, his family said he succumbed to his battle with cancer. CBS News Miami's Bradley Blackburn looks back at his life.
O.J. Simpson's fame and infamy spanned across decades. As a star running back at USC, Simpson won the Heisman Trophy in 1968. Nicknamed the Juice, he played 11 seasons in the NFL, first with the Buffalo Bills, then the San Francisco 49ers. After retiring from the league, he launched a successful career as a sports broadcaster, movie star, and ad pitchman. But in June 1994, millions watched police chase Simpson in his white Bronco on LA's freeways. His ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend Ron Goldman were found stabbed to death. Simpson was accused of their murders. Alan Dershowitz was part of his star legal team.
There was overwhelming evidence that might suggest that he did it, and then there was one piece of evidence that was tampered with.
With cameras in the courtroom, Simpson's trial became a global television event.
And of course, the infamous moment was the day he tried on the glove, and that the glove did not fit.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
A jury found him not guilty.
I remember when the verdict came out and the street split. There were black citizens on one side and white on the other, and people were seeing justice through different eyes.
But in a civil lawsuit from the victims' families, Simpson was found liable and ordered to pay millions in damages. More than a decade later, his book, If I Did It, garnered headlines. A 2007 Las Vegas robbery and kidnapping over sports memorabilia landed him in prison. He was paroled in 2017. His family says Simpson was surrounded by his children and grandchildren when he died. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
O.J. Simpson had ties to South Florida in the years after he was acquitted in the so-called trial of the century. After he was forced to sell his Brentwood home in Southern California, Simpson moved to Kendall and enrolled his children in Gulliver Prep, a private school. In December 2000, Simpson was charged in a road rage incident, and in October 2001, he was found not guilty in a Miami-Dade courtroom. In 2007, Simpson was sentenced to 9 years at a Nevada state prison for charges related to a heist of autographed footballs and other items he said had been stolen from him. His Kendall home was put up for sale. The new owners razed it and rebuilt on the site. Stay with CBS News Miami for continuing coverage of the death of O.J. Simpson. We'll have much more coming up on CBS News Miami starting at 5.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
And taking a live look outside right now, hot and humid day all across South Florida, but some relief is on the way. Next Weather Chief Meteorologist Ivan Cabrera joins us now, and when we can expect those cooler temperatures. Ivan.
Can't come soon enough. Already complaining about the heat and humidity outside. Here's the deal. So we're 87 in Miami. That's been the high so far. It is 89 in Fort Lauderdale, but you factor in the humidity, and that 89 switches and becomes a 98. So it feels almost like 100 degrees in the shade, under a tree, or on a hammock in Fort Lauderdale. That's a nice one there. 92 in Miami and 89, the cool spot there in Marathon. A gusty wind, anywhere from 15 to 30 miles an hour. That's going to continue. And you see not much activity, a couple of showers here dotting the Everglades. But this is the boundary that's going to bring us the cool air. So where is it? Well, it's southeast of Tampa now. As of the last few minutes, still a severe thunderstorm warning. Looks like Merritt Island getting in on that, and we're going to continue to see this boundary, though, weakening. See the lightning strikes continuing to push off towards the coast. We're going to get this little broken line here. I mean, that's it. It comes in very quietly with a few showers, so no change from what we've been talking about the last few days. Already seeing the cool down, though, across North Florida. Pensacola was in the 60s a couple of minutes ago, up to 71. But what a difference here with much drier conditions, so the humidity is really making a difference up there, and that will be our weather for tomorrow. So hang in there as we check in with some isolated showers towards the latter part of the evening here. There is Rain Tracker on a close-up shot And again, we'll keep that rain chance at about 20% for the rest of the evening as everything pushes to the south and east. But it's coming in at a time where we lose the energy here, and so we're not going to pop, thunderstorms or anything like severe weather that they've been dealing with. Not just in Central Florida. This thing's been hanging out in the Gulf for a while. High pressure then builds in for the weekend. That's going to bode well for Saturday and Sunday. It looks great. And the kickoff to the weekend tomorrow, we switch the winds out of the north. We diminish the speed, and so the result is a very nice beach forecast there with high temperatures on the beach in the lower 80s, mid 80s across Miami with full sunshine after about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll wake up to a few clouds, and then this is the driest 7-day I've been able to show you so far in the last few weeks here. Breezy at times, but nice and mild through next week.
Ivan, thank you. The search is on for the gunman responsible for shooting and killing an employee at a watercraft repair shop in northwest Miami-Dade. This afternoon, that victim has been identified. CBS News Miami's Peter Dench reports.
Miami-Dade police are asking for the public's help in this troubling case. It happened right here in northwest Miami-Dade. They say this is where German Amado de la Cruz Jr. was gunned down inside his personal watercraft business. We are hearing from those grieving loved ones and Miami-Dade police as well. There is now a $5,000 reward in this case. We'll have much more on this story starting live at 5. In northwest Miami-Dade, Peter Dench, CBS News, Miami.
A Pinecrest police officer is back home after being accidentally shot by another officer. It happened Wednesday afternoon when the department was conducting its annual training at a Homestead facility. The officer was taken to Homestead Hospital before being flown to Jackson South Medical Center. The wounded officer has been on the force for 4 years. The police chief says the officer who shot her has been part of the force longer. That officer has been placed on administrative leave. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement is taking over the investigation. Now at 4, local police departments are showing off new gear that's aimed at protecting officers out in the field. CBS News Miami's Keith Jones is at Miami-Dade Police Headquarters in Doral with more.
Once you open this up, the body armor goes inside.
This rapid deployment force member of the Miami-Dade Police Department looks like he's ready to do battle. In essence, that's what this is about. Former Miami-Dade Commissioner Sally Heyman took it upon herself to secure this high-tech body armor. The technology comes from Israel. She was able to come home with 102 sets of these bags, each containing head-to-toe body armor. 80 units will go to Miami-Dade Police. 20 will be distributed to North Miami, the City of Miami, the Gables, and to Corrections. The focus of her career is what compelled her to outfit our men and women behind the badge.
If you ask anybody what's the most important thing for them, it's their public safety when it comes to dealing with government. And this is just one more way to do it. I don't think anything is more important for us public servants up here than to take action when it's available, or pursue what could be available and bring it home to our streets. I'm glad we're the first.
Heyman was able to negotiate a deal paying roughly $67,000 for 102 units. That's the money that came right out of the county budget as well. And the deputy director of the Miami-Dade Police Department says they were able to put in requests for customization.
That was an actual customized request for the purpose of this gear. In addition to the innovative technical abilities with the force dispersion, it was the fact that our extra safety and protection from ballistics was included with this design, and that is really the key takeaway for officer safety.
It's new technology offering South Florida officers a little more confidence out there in the field.
And that was CBS News Miami's Keith Jones reporting. When we come back, Instagram takes action to protect young people from sextortion. The new tools being put into place.
You asked, when will the construction at this massive park finally be over?
When it's going to be opening completely for everybody to enjoy and use the actual facilities?
It's a great question considering this project started 6 years ago.
We're working as fast as we can.
What caused the delays and how much is it costing taxpayers? I'm Najahe Sherman digging into this community issue to find out when you'll be able to take a walk in the park. Tonight at 5:30.
Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. The White House has announced final plans to expand background checks to close the so-called gun show loophole. Nearly 80,000 licensed gun dealers are already required to run background checks. But this change means an estimated 23,000 currently unlicensed sellers will have to do the same. It applies to larger sellers that advertise, process credit cards, and earn profits from gun shows and online sales. Some Republicans are already calling the new rule unconstitutional. The new regulations are expected to take effect in a month. People across the Southeast are assessing the damage after being slammed by violent storms. People in Slidell, Louisiana, just northeast of New Orleans, are dealing with devastation. At least 10 tornadoes swept across the South from Texas to Alabama. CBS News Miami's Tom Hansen is in the hard-hit area with more.
Wow! Big tornado!
Forecasters say the twister that touched down in Slidell Wednesday was at least an EF1, packing winds up to 110 miles an hour.
Severe damage right across the road from there.
The storm downed trees and power lines, shearing the roofs off of some buildings and ripping straight through others. 50 people had to be evacuated from one apartment building.
Scenes of damage like this one are what we're seeing all over this coastal community. Trees uprooted, cars tossed about, and even one landing on its side.
Just south in New Orleans, flash flooding inundated roads and left some vehicles stranded. And in Alabama, waves crashed onto the Mobile Causeway, shutting down a major stretch of the road. Parts of Texas were also submerged and hit by tornadoes. An EF1 brought severe damage to the Katy area, and an EF2 touched down in Port Arthur. Back in Slidell, we met Alicia Turner.
I just kept thinking that this roof is going to come tumbling down because you could hear it. You could feel the pressure. You could hear the wind. You could hear the glass shattering.
She told us she and her family sheltered in their hallway as the tornado slammed their house.
All the windows were blown out. The door was broken. I go outside. We have beautiful oak trees that are completely uprooted. It was heartbreaking.
Tom Hansen, CBS News.
Instagram is taking steps to crack down on teenage sextortion. The company announced today it's testing new features to curb the crime, including blurring nude images sent in direct messages and letting users know when they've interacted with somebody who's engaged in financial sextortion. The features should be available worldwide. That's CBS News Miami's Quickcast. I'm Lauren Pastrana. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS Miami.